your motivation when it's getting hard. Train smart, eat smart, rest smart. Keep your mind sharp, main part. No more excuses, fresh start. Deep breath out, don't you dare to lose your heart now.
Hello. Welcome to podcast that I'm a host. It's me, Coach B. And I'm welcome you so much to another podcast. Reverse your mindset with Coach B. Thank you so much. And actually, I'm making this podcast 2 a.m. in the morning because I just felt like I really want to share some, of course, thoughts and, being honest. And I just feel like I want to give, all my best from myself. I make myself tea. And this is like kind of my night talk. I do have many of night talks already on the podcast. But that one is like, I've never done this for like a month or so. I'm trying to totally set up my routine. People who are setting them own routines that are not actually, something like normal people doing them job 9 to 5. Or having in general daytime life. They won't probably understand and they will say, oh my God, Coach B, you're crazy, what you doing? But many times I was thinking like, I like to sit in the night. I like to be myself. I think in the night everything is so peaceful. Everyone is sleeping. Everyone is like doing something and not many people think about this, how much stuff it's been created through the night to all this nighttime owls, as we call them. But I do struggle by this because I used to work on a night shift, and night shift physically, that was absolutely the worst thing ever. I couldn't not pick up myself to life. I couldn't rest. I was so much behind stuff. I used to work in a warehouse. That was not long, it was already 3 years. That was when I started to work, in a Tesco, in a warehouse. I'm, always very grateful for this time in my life because, I met my best friend that we decide 3 of us, like we put our talents together. We just, sit one day because our friend was in a difficult life situation and we feel like always he's older brother to us. And that's what I'm talking always with my husband. Like I always want to have a big brother. And I'm so thankful for Root 24/7, and I'm always mentioning him in my podcast because he's a big guy to me. He's very talented. He does graphics like, oh my God, people. The website is coming. Honestly, everything takes so much time. Our heart creation head, because we do create everything from the basic. We don't have much inspiration from other people. The process and how the stuff is creating is just our own head, and it's going somewhere, and I'm so happy with this. It's like totally new situation for me because all the process takes 3 years, and we dumped everything basically for this project and for this life, and I'm super, I want to be open about this because why not? People seem so in themselves, not only by showing that the success, but all the process, all the road of getting there. It seems like never-ending story. And through all these years, what I can tell you, if you're already making a business, if you're already somewhere, if you're stuck, we're opening, soon for advertisement on our podcast. And believe me, if you're from America, we do have a lot of listeners in America because, you know, I'm such a lover, and I think like, I do even live in American time. I get well with people, even in the comments, you know, you will have to know how crazy it is. I do something like, I do like to engage with people. I want to get to so many people actually in the world, because, you know, I do speak in English, and I think my English is not very advanced. I do not complicate stuff in the words. I try to explain people everything from the bottom to the top, go around and around. This is my way of expressing myself. This is my way of dealing on the problem, which in the end of the day is to sort it out, and it's not a big problem. If you've got similar thinking to me, you know that that's not going to be a problem. That's going to be another thing that you just need to cross gently, you know, and just, you know, head up and think that's not going to, you know, that's going to break me. I went so far. And when you actually see, you know, on the back of what you've been through already, it's nothing. It's nothing. And, you know, this is another way of crossing. I'm crossing here, and you know that it's not gonna be bad. It's just different, okay? You not put yourself with your mindset to, oh, it's going to be another problem. Because if you start to see the problem, everything become the problem. People become the problem, and the problem makes the range of some crazy size that is not fitting anywhere. And, you know, you even know from the families that the atmosphere is rotten and it's not the same. But 3 of us actually survive the hardest moments just pulling ourselves together. But I need to tell you, as much is mostly my idea, and we know pulling the things in my way, because, you know, I believe I'm a genius and Kat, you know, is leading me somewhere, and I know where I'm going. I don't know, I'm this person, like, I know where I'm going. Like, please, everyone on the site, we need to assess the situation. I'm this kind of person. I'm such a problem solver, and I'm very, as you know from most of my podcasts, I'm overreacting person, okay? But this is what sometimes can happen to me, and I always say this is the situations that happen sober to me, so I have no excuse for what happened to my life and in my life, what entered my life, because I have no clue why things like this are happening. So, not far away, like last week, I was getting with this cat underneath my car. If you can remember, I'm reminding situation. On Sunday I was going to pick up my son from Granny, and then one of the kittens was sitting underneath the car whole the way. It's 40 minutes one way. I been there for 4 hours, 3-4 hours, something like this. For this cat doesn't matter, because it's plenty of the time. I believe in the cat's, you know, life. 4 hours, it will be a massive amount of time. And as much that didn't stress me, you know, we have soon a website coming, and we need to push this together. We want to do advertisement for the people on the podcast, and we want to give them not only the space, but we want to give them proper advertisement and whatever they need, because we're just brilliant, and that's what we're doing. And it will be a waste of every money, happiness, my pride, and my life purpose to just sell my creativity, basically, which all people that are in creative industry, they know that this is this sounds more like, you know, Paulina, you're delusional, you know, Coach B, you're just talking about something different. Whatever, you know, is telling this is just funny. But I know how you feel being in creative, because I'm there. So if you need any help, just send me an email, it's all in description. If you need me to hold your hand or support you emotionally, or you need any deal, I can take hoodies, I'm not, I understand everyone in the life need to make it somehow, and this is okay. We all want to live for our passion, for our good, well-paid job, for our future, for our kids, for our family, for our community. It's many reasons, right? But why I'm coming with the community, as much as Tammy been not hurt in the process of riding in my Honda, a very safe car, then another kitten decided to leave the house on Wednesday morning and never come back till today. So I was thinking, where is my kitten? But as much as I lost my 2 previous cats when they decide in the heat to go and never come back and live their best life in the farm. I'm sorry for the noises of my dogs, but I'm recording from the kitchen just in case I decide to come back to the basics, the place that I record a lot, and I have so many talks with my animals, which I do miss them upstairs in the studio, It's just not the same. At least here I do feel like someone is listening to me more than my delusion mind as a creative person, and person who've been through a lot and got a lot of experience in their life. Sometimes it's just not going together, my head can create really stories, really stories. I heard many times from the people, like, I could write the stories, and I do write the stories. Everything, every email, every stuff, I'm just creating, my personal touch. So I'm so wanting to go to there, because the way of what happened to my kitten as it disappeared on Wednesday and didn't come back, I got a message, that someone found my kitten. So I see the vet, their number and everything. I said, okay, in the morning I'm gonna phone them and sort it out. I want Malibu back, right? As a Malibu whiskey called tequila. And it's nothing funny about this, because, someone actually decides to take care of my kitten, which I'm really happy about this. But the man said, like, he been, holding on to my my kitten for 5 days, which is not true, because it's just 2 days. And when I told him, he said, when it disappears, I'm like, she left Wednesday morning, and then in the evening that she's supposed to come back, she never came back. I'm sorry, I need to open the doors for my cat, because, she went outside, the mother. Come on, Felicita. And the man, decided to take care of my cat, and I'm really happy for it. But if he won't actually kidnap my cat, from the place, then it won't be a story. But the funniest thing is that, it was all through the vets, so it was really difficult for me. I'm anxious. I do have anxiety, as you know. I suffer from anxiety. So for me, like, burning, once is just, I'm holding the flame, and I'm burning everything around. So, I get irritated, I get very, not nice. And I said, like, please tell the man to bring me just my cat. The next time if he decide to feed someone cat, because I do believe cats belongs to someone. Everyone who has a cat will tell me the same. They have the owners. You cannot just take someone cat. Doesn't matter how lost this cat looks to you. This is the cat. I understand the dogs. Dogs are sometimes silly, But the cats, they always know them way. And if you start to feed them and take them, that's not my cat anymore. But people who doesn't have a cat, they don't understand. Usually they dog lovers, so they thinking like it's exactly the same like with dogs, which is not the same, My one cat been traumatized, actually Route 24/7 kitten, right? He been traumatized just riding the car, in the boot for so long. And then my kitten been basically taken away. which, I try to now recover her mentally. But only pictures that I could send because vet asked me for pictures of my kittens. Especially this one that, it's been taken and, foster. He was fostered by someone other. It's just so funny, honestly. It doesn't need to be fostered, I said to them, like, no one needs to be fostered. She's got a family here. I get really irritated, honestly. I've been like so sorry with myself that she put me on the hold. And that was the first time in my life I was really happy that someone put me on the hold. Because I was ready to just, turn things into pieces because that was my cat. This is my cat. She's alive, And... yeah, I had to send the pictures, and only pictures that I have was this, little baby session that I done for them, and was the Cards Against Humanity, and that was the worst actually that I picked up, right? They're on my Instagram, I think I put it on my Facebook as well. Before, when I was taking there, they're waiting still to go on my blog because I have full, feuilleton about this, with these cards, because I do love Cards Against Humanity. I think this is the most savage thing that you can say just using the cards, and it's bloody funny if no one's gonna cry out of it, but I do overreact and, I get very emotional, and that was my cat, and I was really in a bad moment, so I was nasty, but I sent these pictures to them, and I don't even know what kind of, reaction they have to it, because I've never asked for it. But they were much nicer to me when they phoned. They realized, like, I'm a good person, and this is my cat, and, she came back, and I cuddled her, and she put her face on my face, and I know, like, she starts to scratch herself because she's got, like, it's not like an eczema, but she's got like a stressful. I seen this when she was little kitten, because my cat is her mother, and I see when it was more of this kitten, she really get like frustrated, and many times I was just taking her upstairs to me when I was working, and that was whole my idea behind the pictures, Cards Against Humanity, and I was really, they're like a kitten models, and that's I was always calling them, and they have so much confidence in themselves. Yes, so she looks so cute on these pictures, and I'm so happy that she's back. I just want to say, like, I'm happy that she made up back to the family, and we can just be together. I think even dogs miss her, to be honest, because we all feel like it's not right as much. I get other kittens away to good homes, and they have really good places, and they're happy there. I just want that these kittens that stay here, they're happy. I want everyone to be happy, and I want to even build for them the special walls, that they can climb. I seen this on Pinterest. People are so creative. That's what I'm saying. I'm sure this idea with the wall for a cat came just from some creative idea of the owner of the cat, because it's brilliant. It's so much space that they can walk, and it's actually not taking any much space. And if you just work on this properly, it can be very nice kind of decoration. So it's very practical for the cats. I'm happy that they're reunited, and I'm happy that Tammy made it through this trip. Whole this week was so, honestly, was so crazy. I signed off from my college because I could not make it anymore, and saying could not make it anymore, it will be too much. As I was saying, like, one day they will just ask me to resign, and I have nothing to complain. I think they're very, very good people. It's just me, I'm doing what I want. I feel like in the previous life I was the cat. That's what I'm saying. I'm such a cat lover, and if it's many people like you, I know I know how it is to be free and to do something in a random time and be happy from it, because nothing is chasing you. You don't feel like the time is chasing you. You don't feel like you don't have a time, because you can make it anytime. It's just a matter of being open and accepting this as the way of this what you wanted. So, for example, as it's January and coming back, to planning this fitness journey, I was recommending Jim Stopani's books and encyclopedia, where you have so many exercises and programs already written. Which the guy I seen him today on the Facebook. He was just like in the wife beater. I think it's called wife beater shirt. I know this is like something. That's how we call this in our countries. And please, with this kind of t-shirts, I've got so many weird memories. I understand this is the 90s style, and is going with something, but it doesn't suits everyone. I think it suits to him actually, because he's got like a very military style. And I love his, like, in one video I seen he had a dumb barbell and the weights. Instead of the weights, he's got like a training weights, but you can have usually like ugly ones, gray or green, but he's got like a donuts, and I think it looks so cool with this his military stuff, proper explanation. He's like a better version of just a doctor of some workout science, that's how I look at him, and I think this is just what you need. And he's like, for the boys, he's just wow. I think he will get to anyone. He's just a normal human being. You don't have to look for him like some people like when people are nasty or honest like me, or sweet. Something always is attracting them in a people that they're listening to, or they stick with, or they have some emotions, to what they talk about. When I started to do the podcast and do this whole journey, I've never thought about myself like creating totally someone other, because if I will have to create someone other, then I will have to create, everything around. But I wanted that will happen to me as me, no one other. So I couldn't not think to not give people more or less than just my honesty, my thoughts, my journey, and be in these moments that they were actually the craziest, the happiest, sad actually. This time that I couldn't find my kitten was hard. Even I know, I won't show, and I was say like, it's just a kitten. Maybe she find another house, and blaming myself like maybe, this house was not good enough, or I didn't, love her enough. I was like, I do love her so much. She's just super fast. She's like a ninja cat. She was not happy with her brother. We'll try to, connect them again together, because I think for them it was such a long time as well. So not like they don't remember each other, but he got a bit shy. I mean, he's so traumatized after driving in underneath the Honda, so I can, understand him. Like, he been through his trauma, He worked it out. He's just like a little baby. So her, but I'm so happy that I have a mother here. That I think having a mother is really important in your life. I think mother who supports you, and I'm talking about this in in many, to be honest, podcasts, and I was talking about this in Polish podcasts that people didn't like because they're totally different people and they're not believe like you can tell something bad about someone. But I think I would rather know honest version. I would rather know from my child if I'm failing it, if it's this what my child needs. We all need a love. That's just being there, standing for someone, supporting it, and telling whatever, you choose this, it's going to be fine. It's going to be the best. It's going to be how you dream about this. Don't be scared, okay? Don't be scared. That's what I would say to my child. That's why many times, I'm saying as much as I, can be angry with my parents because, my childhood was all fine. They just found me as a young adult, as actually the support in a big world that I should have. I've been left and I need to manage, and I manage actually pretty well. I could finish in the bottom. I could be an abuser. I could be a frustrated mother. I could be mother who hates the child, because why not? I had enough circumstances to do it, because her father just dumped us, no money, no seeing, and thank you God, I'm happy that God is holding to the stuff like this, and that's what shows like some bigger power, because some people will just eat you. They will just eat you alive if they could. But there's some borders. There's some borders of treating people like this and thinking that this is okay. This is not okay. And I have so many situations that just drives me nuts, how people can neglect another people. And I promise, rejections and these parts will be closed. But as much as I was talking in the previous episodes about neglecting ourselves for some kind of purposes, other people, projects that doesn't make any sense, or just the life stories that they're going for no reason. There's no reason to keep going with some stuff, and you just need to accept it, that story ended. Every book has a last page and it needs to finish. If it's not ending and you're going in the circle, that means it's going wrong. But as I have nothing to my childhood, because it was all fine. I have no childhood trauma. I've got like a young adult trauma. I think that I'm healing. I can say like I'm healing, but in the beginning it cost me a lot, because it was too many people to heal from. I think it's just many people fall off the cliff and during the process and during this, what I done, how I said it, why I said this, and what is the reason behind that. The reason behind this, that I know how I struggle in my worst time, and I know how I struggle in my best time. It's not only cool when you don't have anyone when you feel low, but you can be sure if you have no one when you've been low, you're not gonna have anyone there when you're high. And the people sometimes will come, be with you in the process, or they will just appear in the moment of, reaching this highness. But when you're reaching the bottom, it's not many people to just lift you up. Of course, people have a tendency to just, go even lower and lower and lower. But there's the people like you cannot help, and you just need to leave them and believe. That's all what happened. Is the bigger reason that it could be actually. That's what I do believe, and that's why I can explain, and accept, accept many situations in my life, which I pushed on a side thinking like, okay, it must be the different end to the story and my job is done there. But, I hope so it's all going to be good. And that's all how I'm thinking, because when you start to think about stuff positive, you don't even want to think in other way. So your mind will come with any kind of positive thoughts to explain you that you will accept something. That's how process of my head works. And I think it works for me the best. I know my roughly pattern. I know the pattern of picking up my energy. I've got this moment of like physically, I think like I'm absolutely about to die. But then I wake up another morning and I feel much stronger. I don't know how it is, but every day I feel like everything works better in my body. Like I'm growing, I'm learning, I'm developing myself, I'm developing the idea what's gonna help us and other people, how to engage people. And I think it's brilliant, because I know how many people are scared to get engaged with other people. And believe me, I was the worst. Oh my God, this is what I'm doing. I was trying to do for 10 years, okay? Believe me. It was the time in my life that I was thinking like, if I will do this, what I'm doing right now, doing the podcast and talking about this will help many people. But then I was, in my opinion, not strong enough, and I was still like depending on the people, which is actually falling with my all self-esteem, where I was thinking, oh, I can do it, I can do even better, and pushing myself forward to grow on the way of everything falling apart. So like a queen, head up, boobs up. How as my granny used to say, chest up, and you need to stretch up, and you need to be serious, But in this moment I thought like, I'm not good enough, I'm like, plenty of people, I know the fitness, I started to be really interested in the fitness. I lost my weight after my first daughter, and I rushed up everything, and everything was crazy, and I was still thinking like, whatever I will do, I need to speed it up because I'm not good enough. And I'm sitting here today and I'm telling you, like, it's 2:24 now, right? And that's how long, I don't know, I've been recording. And I'm trying to get to my head to find the answers, was it me like from the beginning, or what was missing? And I can tell you what was missing. I can tell you right now, right here, because I had this thought walking with me so much, and I think like I really want to make it in this way. I think it needs to stay somewhere there, for people that I love, and for people that actually bring me back the hope, and not even the hope, love, this is not even the hope, the love, the acceptation, and the moment that I believe like we can all do this together. No, why not? And as much I was disappointed, like it should be the most important people in my life didn't support me, and everything what I did to make it, look at me, I done this, be proud of me, because, I went out there, I feel proud, I want you to cheer up for me, I always want, that you can tell to your friends, like, this is my daughter, and she does this and this, and she's so cool. Instead of this, I've been disappointed, yes. I've been disappointed, but I think that was the disappointment for the last time. And, I was talking about this, my little funerals and everything, how people are just picking my soul out and, smash it out. I'm gonna sneeze. It's going to be a true. I'm sorry. Bless me. I'm sorry it's going on a podcast because, I'm not doing any cuts, so you've got like 100% of Coach P. So whatever is, in the background. But what I want to tell you, that I not decide even, it just came to my head. I was driving, and that was the moment, actually, that was the Sunday when I had a cat with me, and I didn't know. But I was driving in this moment, and I said to my daughter, like, I understand, and I was like, my daughter is like me. I can talk to her, like to myself. I know she won't judge me. She will just, she's just there. And this is enough for me to just feel like she listens to me, so I can reflect on it. And I know her reaction, so I know what is after it. And I had these thoughts like, maybe I didn't lost anything because, I do not feel like with this big disappointment and this funeral, something been cut off, or wrecked or whatever, because I feel like it's never been there. Like through this all years that I'm living in Scotland and I'm growing my child and earning money, have no support from anyone that I do not want to ask for, I'm an independent person, and if I need to ask someone, then I will ask. Because, we have different moments in our life, and was the time that was just nothing, You'll be surprised for how low you can go, to be honest, with the money and, making it at minimum. But it's not always like this, Sometimes you need to just be somewhere. If you don't understand the previous experience in your life, then you're going in a circle. And we know what is happening because we're intelligent people. We know we just did in one moment wrong, but now we do everything to make it 100% successful. Yes. So I was talking like this, roughly kind of idea what I talked to you, to my daughter, and I said to her like, yes, maybe my family, from my side, they didn't appreciate what I done and how brave is this what I'm doing, coming out with totally 100% of my personal life, that I know some people might not care, but I'm not for this kind of people. I'm for the people, that they do take care, and I can give them something what they're missing. Sometimes it's just a little light. Sometimes just the hope, or sometimes it's the moment, like my mother-in-law, she's been so kind to me, and it's just, I don't know, I feel like so always welcome, and I feel like I've never been fully, engaged, and I feel like I've never give 100% of myself. So, when we work on the, on the kids, seeing each other, helping each other, visiting each other. The said about, sisters-in-law. And we had a hard time as well, but it's all actually how we made it, like I'm so proud of us, and I'm so proud of them, all of them separately, and it's like many amount of people that I need to, talk there to, but I think that just gave me idea, as I said always, it's just like maybe 19 of episodes is basically not enough to go through whole my 12 years of being in Scotland and, dealing with whole my life. But as I want to tell you, in the process of telling you about everything, you don't have to wait for happy end, another 10 years, so I will tell you short story and a long story. No, it's not this idea. But I want to tell you, like, yes, people are making up. And as I said to my best friend once, to my favorite, forever human to carry, because, I know she's busy, she's dealing with her stuff. But we said this once, we were just sitting and smoking, because, we do get attached with things. We get very emotional. We both have ADHD, so it's just, sometimes it's crazy. I think we're just crazy. We're just so funny. We're just so funny, crazy. We're just like born to be comedians, when we're on this face, it's just nothing stopping us from just being funny. And we just sit once, and I still remember this, like we're sitting in her kitchen, and we said like, we came to realization like what is about everyone is basically arguing or, dumping stuff, or because it's hard. It's like everything is hard. Nothing comes easy in the life, because just sometimes changing your mindset, it doesn't come easy, but it's worth it. So working your ass off is worth it as well. So giving someone another chance, not always is, as everyone say, is just giving the, bullet. Because of course, if some people don't want to be in your life and God thinks that this is bad for you, it won't be there, right? But if you start to get stronger and the person is still next to you, I think that means something, right? That is a bit more, this like in general love, because this person accepts that it might not be completely in your life. But you never know, because if things change, why these things cannot change? So as much we know many people that they're divorcing, dumping everything, living, not giving people a chances, living in the bad circumstances. I was usually this person who would just say, whatever, because if you getting a chances, you don't want to fight for it, that's not right. But if you're getting a hand with it, that's absolutely fine, because that means you learn from mistakes, and whatever it is, you're sucking there and you're going forward. You're better than this. So this is the half of like, being back off good person, because it's nothing negative about this. You've been through it and you want to get better. Doesn't matter who you are. If we will be living here only to do something stupid and then live in a guilt till the end of your life, waiting for a judgment day, that might just be this moment right now in your life, that you're judging yourself or anyone is judging you, and this is the worst stuff that can happen to you. But this is not always like this. You need to remember that we should fix the stuff, right? And you should believe, and not every, dog that bites you is a bad dog, right? That doesn't mean like all the dogs are aggressive now. I've been through the experience with, being bitten by the dog. And I need to tell you, that was the stuff that haunted me for many years. And I could not get closer to the dogs. Some still breeds are freaking me out. But I get so strong with my 2 dogs, to be honest. And I know they love me so much. Like, I know I'm safe with them. So I actually, try get, close and be good with my 2 dogs and love them so much and, treat them like my kids, basically. I'm so crazy. They're telling me like I spoil them. No, maybe I do spoil them. But, today I've been walking them, and I let Tosha off from the leash, and believe me, this is a husky, right? So everything what you're doing with the husky, you need to basically reverse it. She sees me, it's okay. She doesn't see me, she doesn't remember that I do exist. So they're quite hard breed, but no one will be just like this lying, next to you like Rashka does, lies next to me, and she will just, give you a time to pet her, Sometimes it might be 2 hours, your hand might get sore, I do create a lot. I used to have a lot of talks with my dogs. Like, I was lonely, as I said. Not many humans around me, not, spiritually, I was fine. Plenty of cats, 2 dogs, many people, many souls to talk about. And many people to support me, even if it's just not the humans. But I do believe, like, I might be a cat in a previous life. I don't know. I feel like this. And she just like went off this leash, and I was calling her, Rashka was quite okay. She was standing next to my leg, waiting. I told her, calm down, we're gonna walk, she's gonna come back. And then I do usually what I'm doing. Maybe this is some kind of tip for husky owners, okay? I don't know. Maybe I sell now the good tip. So what I done with my huskies, here is the short stories and the long stories. Because, mostly the shouting on them, come back, or Tosha, or names, or whatever, they work by the comments. So for them, it's not clear. They just see the field, they run. So only what you can do, you can call them sometimes and keep them around you, right? To get them stressed and never get stressed, okay? If you're gonna get stressed, they're gonna use this against you. So you always chill out, it doesn't bother you, they're not ruling you, they will come back because, you have a food, okay? So that's always your main reason, because huskies are like to work hard and they like to work for food. So if they do something right, they need to be priced, I think, more than other kind of dogs, because they're not only greedy, they like to get paid, or it's just my dogs. Maybe, we all here like not interest free, Maybe my dogs are hard workers as well, I don't know. But what I teach them to come to me in the house when I want to put them on the harness, and one is on the harness, one is on the collar. And so I'm putting myself, I'm on the leash, right? Because I've got the leash that they won't kidnap my rotator, because they're strong dogs. So I need to have them attached to my belly. I got this leash. Oh, I think it's already the 3rd one, because one Rashka got mental and she decided to bite it. She had like such a bad anxiety as well. It was the time that she couldn't find herself or as a dog or as a soul, or I don't know. I think it's just like she's such a baby, and you need to be firm but gentle with her, So it was a time to, give you a love, but this is the time to listen to me. And she knows exactly that she needs to go to cage without using the word cage, because, we do spend a lot of time on conversation. But that's what I did. I decided like how I'm gonna make them to come back to me when it's husky, they're just, it's millisecond and they're gone. They're just gone. It's like any kind of car you will still see. Dogs, no, my dogs you won't see. So only what I teach them to basically stop jumping on the people. So when any kind of people are walking, I know they're not gonna jump on them, but I usually get them off from the leash as well, because I had many situations that they just ran away. They managed to get off the harnesses, they managed to get off the collars. One, I had another miracle, like Tosha ran away and she was, fluffing around, she won't never go far away. She loves me so much. I love her as well. Rashka usually, brought by limousine to home. But, that's what I was thinking, to try to find the solutions. Dogs are, free animals as well. And as much they're getting excited, so much distractions for them, especially for huskies, because they get hyper, and they get excited and you don't know what to do with them. Like with the child, basically like with the child. So I decide, to do this in the house, how I want to approach them, to basically put them in a collar. So I know if I will say like, collar, and I will tap on the floor with my hand, then Tosha will come first. I will put her in a leash and close her. And then, she will just be on the leash. She knows, like I'm telling her it's a leash. And then, I put on the collar, I'm tapping, I'm calling Rashka. And on the comments, that's how I teach them everything, basically on the comments. Because what I'm gonna do, if they're gonna run away, and I don't want to, they can go like even 30 kilometers away, This is like the same trip like Tommy was last time in the car, right? But I cannot imagine. I think the matter of the cars and knowing how my dogs can behave, I don't want like nothing will happen to them. So Tosha was just running, and I was calling her, and then I went on the floor, I tapped, I said that's it, this is enough. I gave her a few more warnings, and then she came, she sits. Yes, I didn't have to hold her, nothing. She just put her paws and the collar and the harnesses. I just put it and that's it. Can you imagine? So I spend so much basically time with my dogs. Even it's hard. I think the first 10 minutes is the worst walking. I was trying to put the podcast first. My idea of making podcast was walking the dogs and do the podcast, but believe me, when I was already in the forest, and this is maybe 15 minutes walk from my house, I was already like I'm running with such a fast walkers. Then I said this is not the point, because I want to introduce someone for my podcast, and believe me, till this time I have no idea. Plus I'm living in Scotland, so the wind is so terrible, like I decide to just give up on the idea, hoping people will be just walking to my podcast just like this, talking one, without extra, come on here, like, and me shouting my ass off, because, sometimes they can jump in the holes, they can try to find the rabbits, chase my cat, oh, they're so crazy, but my cat doesn't let them do it anymore. I'm so happy coming back in the end to my podcast and actually surviving this crazy week with the cats, and running dogs, but coming back, good dogs, good animals, a bit of, Saturday, feeling, nighttime from Coach B is not bad, with some good music, why not? I would like to tell you in the end of my podcast that I'm so thankful to America, and I want to say it, I'm so thankful for all these comments, for all this love, for all these shares, and many people on Facebook that helped me, which blocks me a few times, but people answering to my comments for hashtag reverse your mindset, because I made all the hashtags by my own, and all this hard work that is paying off, and the people that like to listen to me, it's just unbelievable. I'm so thankful. I want to tell you, like, you're all so good, and I do believe in a good people, and I think that's why I'm still here. That's why I'm believing. That's why I'm giving a second chances, and I'm so proud of my family, a co-family who actually took me as a family, my family, because I feel now, I feel full, and why not? Why not to feel like this, people? Why not to, say to each other, give each other another chance, and make it right? If it's something that you need to do after this podcast, this is the moment to just, I don't know, maybe phone your mom or your dad, your friend, or talk with someone that you really want to talk, but you never have a boss. When you're gonna have them? Grow them right now, right here. and be happy. Road can be happy, and journey can be happy, and your life can be a second chance. You never know. In the end of this all stories, I want to, of course, play some song, and I was waiting for this moment for so long because it's my favorite reggae, and it's not, of course, it's Marley, but you know, I love Damien Marley. You know, he's my favorite reggae artist, rapper, and I've been listening to his music for so long, and I would like to play for you, and I need to find this perfectly because I need to see that this on yes, it is, because I need to tell you full who is in there. So it's Damien Marley, Stephen Marley, Capleton, Drag On, and the song is called It Was Written. And as much as I have plenty of good memories with this song, and plenty of good memories when I was studying, when I was still pregnant, and when I was living in Łódź, in Poland, in the heart of Poland, that's where this song always gets me, and I would like to give you the super vibes from Damien Marley. It Was Written. Thank you so much for today. That was me, Coach P. Bye!